Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video. It's been a little while since my last upload. I've been in development on a few projects lately, and I'm excited to share more about those soon. But for today, we're following up on my last video where we tackled Megaplants collision issues using a blueprint workaround. A lot of you reached out with concerns about how that might impact PCG performance, and you were right to ask. But yesterday a viewer named Eddie sent me an email pointing toward a tutorial by UnrealEngine Tutorials. It's a much more efficient method that gives you solid collision without the blueprint overhead, keeping your PCG tools running fast. So I built a workaround to get this running in my PCG Forest tool, and it worked. I want to thank Eddie for bringing this solution to my attention. This is a free update for anybody who bought the tool on Fab or Gumroad. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create these skeletal trees with this optimized collision and how to get it all working in the PCG tool. So let's set up these skeletal trees the right way. When you work in the standard PCG Forest blueprint, you can select the data assets of the Megaplants. I have already inserted a Megaplant tree in my asset. When I play the level, you see that I have collision on these trees. So how does that work? When I open the Megaplant tree data asset, you can see that I create a new slot for the collision of these Megaplants. So here is how to set this up in your own projects. Let's delete this asset for now and start with a clean sheet in the data asset. Press the plus icon to create a new asset. Go to your Megaplant library and search for the skeletal tree you want to use in your PCG Forest. I've downloaded a couple of these trees for free on Fab, and I'm going for the Norway maple. You can select any tree you want, by the way, but I'm going for the first one. Drag the tree into the empty slot of your data asset, and you can see the tree appear in your blueprint in the viewport. Let's play the level to see what we have at the moment. For now, we're not having the collision on the trees. We're running straight through the trees. But I want collision, so how to do this? Let's go back to the content browser and open up the procedural vegetation asset. We see some nodes that represent these 4 Norway maple trees, like you see in the content browser. Let's select the 4 nodes on the top and drag them up so we have some space. Copy the first 3 nodes and paste them in the same graph and position them under the first node system. Drag a pin from the loader to the mesh builder, and drag a pin from the foliage distributor into the graph and search for output. Then right-click in the graph and search for a new node that's called Remove Branches. Drag the pin from the loader into this new node, and drag a pin from that to the mesh builder. Now everything is connected. Select the Remove Branches node and change the threshold to 1. This will remove the branches from the tree. Select then the foliage distributor and change the ethylene threshold to 0. Then go to the output node and look for the mesh name in the settings. Let's change this name into something similar. I'm copying the name of the first tree and put this in my output node as mesh name with the text collision on the end. Change the export mesh type to static mesh and let collision unchecked. Let's save our changes, and now we export this new node system we created. Make sure you're standing on the output node and click export. Close the asset and search for the procedural vegetation folder in your content browser. Here we find our exported static mesh of the tree. Open this mesh and apply collision on this tree. When the collision is applied, save it and close the asset. Open up your Megaplants tree data asset again and insert the just created mesh collision of this tree into the empty slot. Save it, close the data asset, and let's see if this collision is working on the tree. I'm playing the level again. And yes, these trees do now have collision. And this also working for the bushes data assets as well. And we still have the full control on these trees. We can change the density and seed. And best of all, the performance on these trees are pretty fast. So there you have it. No more heavy blueprint spawning thanks to that collision fix. And thanks to Eddie for reaching out to me. In the PCG Forest tool, you can also use this setup with the world partition blueprint. And you can also use the old blueprint method as well if you don't want to work with skeletal trees. PCG Forest is available for download on my Fab and Gumroad page. look for the links in the description. If you run into any problems with the setup, drop a comment or join the Discord. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep shaping those worlds.